Hey, welcome to That Guy Talks Movies. I am that guy talking movies. And on this episode, we're talking about Cocaine Bear. The title alone got me. As soon as when I first saw that trailer and I first saw a movie called Cocaine Bear and I saw that poster, it instantly sent, it just made me, I was like, this is a comedy, right? It sounded like an SNL sketch. And that's what I was looking forward to. So we're going to get into what I thought about the movie in this quick episode. But before we do that, I want to talk about a couple of trailers also that are coming up that I saw, previews before this movie that I may not have discussed yet on the channel. So I want to talk about them really quick. But before we even do that, if you are new to my channel and you're finding me and you're here and you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you know when I put up new content and you do not miss it. That's if you like listening to people talk about movies and you like movies, love movies, have a passion for film and collecting movies and whatever, all that good stuff. Hit the subscribe button. To my loyal people who have subscribed already, the 1,000+ of you who, come through, and the people who comment and leave their, criticisms and such and whatever, the negative and the positive. I appreciate y'all. Let's get into it. All right. So first, a couple of things. The AMC theaters lately have really just totally ticked me off. This is the largest, film theater franchise there is in the country. And oh my God, it's like, first of all, I love the previews, but all of the shit that they're putting before the previews, like there's like a whole, like behind the scenes thing. And there's all these weird, little like TV spots and stuff they're doing. And then there's a Nicole Kidman thing where she comes and tells us about movies. And it's just like, let's just get to the fucking film or get to the previews, right? But what I really find funny is the AMC, the promo that they have right before the movie starts is like the camera going through the crowd and you see people and you see a couple hold hands and they smile at each other and they're eating popcorn and there's another couple and, she looks at him lovingly and lays her, head on his shoulders and they're all like eating snacks. It's a whole promo for you like to stuff your face and hit the concession stand and get Coca-Cola, which obviously is their big sponsor. And it's all this junk food and all these couples. But what I find funny, especially in this current woke society where everyone's got to be represented, and everything's got to be right. All the people in that reel eating all the junk are all like models. They're all like, kind of like thin people or regular looking people or, attractive people. I'm like, they're all eating buckets of popcorn and snacking down sugar water. Shouldn't we see some representation in there? Shouldn't there be some plus size people in that ad? Just saying. Anyway, I don't like waiting so long for all this fluff that they put before the trailers, but let's get to the trailers. The trailers, a couple I just want to speak on. One called Strays, which is like, it starts off like it's going to be like a cute dog, puppy, and owner movie, with the dogs having someone doing voiceover for the dogs. In this case, it's Will Ferrell and Jamie Foxx and Sofia Vergara and a host of others. But it looks like this, thing. But actually, the owner is like this drunken kind of guy, and he's, they play fetch, fuck you, or something like that, where he tries to get rid of the dog all the time, but the dog always makes its way back. So it's like this. It's supposed to be like this. It's set up like this cute thing, but it's like very potty mouthed, and it gets worse throughout the trailer. And I'm like, holy shit, this is hysterical. But I can guarantee you, just like Bad Santa, there's going to be a few parents out there, probably maybe a 15% amount of parents that are going to not pay attention and going to bring their kids to see this movie. And they're going to be like, whoa, they're going to be covering little Johnny's ears and eyes because this is a raunchy kind of take on the whole lost pet thing and getting back to the owner and the pets getting together and helping each other out. But it looks interesting. It'll probably be good. Okay. What else? New Guy Ritchie movie. Operation Fortune, starring Hugh Grant, Jason Statham, Gary Ells is in this. Bugsy Malone is in this. Looks like a typical Guy Ritchie movie, crime caper, sort of not who did it, but like gangster crime thing happening and all this weird stuff going on. Looks good. I like Jason Statham. I like Guy Ritchie films. Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels and Snatch, two of my favorite films. And although they were similar, the uniqueness of those films and Guy Ritchie's stamp on those, his auteur thing with those two films, he hasn't been able to capture that. I wasn't a big fan of The Gentleman, and there's a couple other films. I think he's a great director, but I think his original material, captured lightning in a bottle with those two films. So I don't know what this is going to look like. The only thing I did think about was Jason Statham again, how I really wish he could be Bond, but they're obviously not going to make him Bond because they're going with a younger actor and they're doing a younger Bond at this point. And also the whole, because he's like got the sexy bald thing going on. They don't want bald Bond, but to that note, I would say, why can't we get a film franchise, sort of like the Mission Impossible franchise with Cruise and the Bond, Ian Fleming's Bond and the Broccoli family producing all these Bond flicks over the years? Why don't we just do a franchise that's, an agent-like guy starring Jason Statham? The same thing with Idris Elba. We can do that. Let's try that. Then I saw the trailer for Renfield, which is basically, if you know the whole Bram Stoker's Dracula thing and Renfield being the assistant, the minion to Dracula. That's what this is. It's a comedy kind of thing, horror, thriller kind of thing, and Nicolas Cage is playing Dracula, which immediately immediately threw me off. As soon as I saw Nick Cage dressed as Dracula and delivering some cheesy line that was supposed to be funny in the trailer, like towards the end of the trailer, they reveal who Dracula is. I was like, that's not going to work. So we'll see how that goes. There's a lot of horror. Trailers, a lot of horror films coming. There was a Scream 6 one, which looks like, it's going to be what it is, right? What's it going to be, right? But then there's a Stephen King novel that's been adapted to screen called The Boogeyman, which looked like a typical scary kid, monster under the bed and in the closet kind of thing. I haven't read the book. I don't know. It's Stephen King though, so you can't go wrong there, just depending on how they adapt it. But looks kind of creepy. If you're into scary movies, that looks good. There's also Evil Dead, Evil Rises or something along. Yeah, Evil Dead Rise. We'll see how that goes. That looked really creepy. That looked like excessively creepy. Like that just looked like it took everything and like up the ante 100 times, and they just really wanted to creep you out, even in the trailer. They didn't leave much to the imagination, so we'll see how that goes. If you're an Evil Dead fan and Book of Dead and all that stuff, then you'll probably be looking forward to that. Next, of course, we got Creed 3, which comes out, and I think pretty sure a couple of these movies are coming out in like the next week or two, right? I think March 3rd is Creed 3. Creed 3, looking forward to it. I want to see it. I think Creed 1 was the best, obviously. Creed 2 was actually a good follow-up, not fantastic. So we'll see what happens with Creed 3. I thought Creed 2 was, although it was a good film, the whole, the son of Drago who killed your father, was also a boxer who's formidable, and you're going to fight him. It was kind of like that revenge kind of tale thing. But I think what's missing with the Creed films is that you don't have that theme. Like Rocky, the original Rocky and Rocky 2 are the greatest in like the Rocky franchise, right? And to quote Tarantino in Cinema Speculation, he talks about Rocky and talks about the fact that the later films, Rocky 3, Rocky 4, Rocky 5, like they're all just like comic book stories, right? They're like Rocky faces this one, Rocky faces that one. Whereas the first one was a really genuine good story, which is why it garnered its Oscars and its acclaim and set, history for Stallone. And Rocky 2, also really good storytelling. And Rocky 3, you got Clubber Lang. I love the film. Rocky 4, I love the film, right? Cheesy as they are, they were fun. So with Creed, though, I feel like you're going to push the envelope and just keep going with this guy. I like the first one. I like him, finding himself and all that. So I think Michael B. Jordan is doing a great job in the role. We'll see what happens with Jonathan Winters as his, opponent in this one. And I'm looking forward to it. But there's no theme. There's no music, right? You need that. Dan, 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 dan. Like he needs his own theme, I think. Someone come up with a theme for Michael B. Jordan, all right, for the Creed movies. Let's do that. Okay, and now let's get into Cocaine Bear. Hopefully you stuck with me to get to this particular point, which is what the video is, Cocaine Bear. Here's what it is. It's a funny movie. It's a fun time at the movies is what it is. It's a fucking bear that gets into cocaine. It's supposedly based on a true story about some drug smugglers. Basically, they fly over this particular region and they drop the cocaine into the woods, and then their mules or whatever come and pick it up, and that's the way it's supposed to work. Apparently, something goes wrong. Guy dies. All these bags of cocaine are all over the place. A bear gets himself into it. So you've got the bear high on cocaine, and you've got a little girl who skips school with one of her friends for the day, and she's in the same woods. So the mother comes looking for her. Then you've got the mules or the guys who are supposed to be coming to collect the cocaine. They're in the woods looking for the cocaine. And of course, the bear is there high. So the bear ends up, they all encounter the bear at some point. That's what the movie is. And it's dark comedy at kind of like what it is. Could it be better? Could it have been a better written script? Could it have been better fleshed out characters? Could you have cared more about the characters? Should there have been a better There are moments of pacing here that are kind of bad, and a couple of things that just seem a little screwy. Like the mother, like once she catches up with the little boy that skipped school with her daughter, she asks where the daughter is, but then it kind of like chills out for a bit, and she doesn't seem so concerned. I'm like, you'd be freaking out if you thought your daughter was dead and mauled by a bear. But anyway, I just thought there were some moments. The acting isn't anything spectacular. It is what it is. Ray Liotta, it's one of his last films. I was looking forward to seeing him on screen. The dude that plays his son, who's incidentally, I'm watching it, I'm like, where do I know this kid from? It's the guy that played Han Solo in the Solo Star Wars movie. He does a great job. I think the casting there was perfect because he definitely looked like he could be Ray Liotta's son. It's a funny movie at times. At times it's not. At times you can see the forced humor. You can see where, okay, that's supposed to be funny. Ha ha, but it's not really. But again, it's fucking Cocaine Bear, right? Like if you went into this movie expecting to see something that was like this thrilling, like you're not going to get that. I went in exactly and I got exactly what I expected. And that's the thing with film sometimes, especially as a film critic but it's not that serious, but someone like me who talks about movies or reviews movies for other people, right? Talks about film. Do we always go into a film with a pen and a pad ready to take notes and, we have to analyze and break this thing down? No, I kind of just went in to watch it, and I go into movies to enjoy the movie. And I kind of knew what this was going to be when I saw the trailer, Cocaine Bear. I'm not expecting this to be great. It's going to be some silly shit. It is what it is. So with all that said, I will say, would I recommend seeing it? Yes. All right. Do you have to go to the theater and see it? No. This is a great Netflix and chill movie. This is one of those movies when it comes on streaming, it's a Friday night, you're doing your Netflix and chill thing. If you fall asleep or you end up, getting it on and TV's asking, are you still there? And the film just turns off or something, you won't be bothered. You can always pick it up a day later. It's no big deal, but you will enjoy it if you understand what it is. Don't go into it thinking, oh, it's going to be perfectly written. And it's not. It's not. It's got some funny moments. It doesn't have some funny moments. There are some highlights. It is what it is. A fucking bear and cocaine. Go from there. And it's also animal friendly. And I say that because my mother, I was speaking to her on the way to the theater about this, and she thought it was crazy, the Cocaine Bear. She's like, what's it about? And she goes, oh, well, that just sounds like an excuse for them to hunt and shoot the bear and kill the bear. That sounds sad. I was like, yeah, possibly. But no spoilers here, but it's more bear friendly than you would imagine. And it's cute at times, right? So Cocaine Bear, that's my take. I would say see it. I would say you don't need to go to the theater and see it. Wait for it to come on streaming and have a good time with it. Just know what it is, okay? That's it for me on That Guy Talks Movies. Let me know in the comments below what movies you're looking forward to seeing, which ones are coming out. What do you think the Guy Ritchie movie is going to be like? Gotta wonder. Let me know if you saw Cocaine Bear. Let me know if you're going to see Cocaine Bear. Let me know if you're going to go to the theater and see it. And let me know your thoughts on it if you already saw it. And again, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. I truly appreciate that as well. Peace, love, power, and prosperity to all of you. I will see you on the next That Guy Talks Movies.